Everyone said Amara was special, the kind of girl who made mothers nudge their daughters in church and whisper, "Why can't you be more like her?" The kind of girl who sang hymns like she wrote them herself, eyes closed, voice trembling with holy fire. At just 18, Amara was the pride of her parents, the light of the youth fellowship, and the whisper of hope in every pastor's sermon. She wore long skirts, spoke softly, and always bowed her head in reverence. She never argued, never questioned, never stayed out late. Her hair was always braided neat, her smile modest, her Bible underlined and worn from love. But inside her, something was unraveling. She didn't know when it started. Maybe the night she scrolled through TikTok under her blanket, watching girls in mini skirts dancing under city lights. Or maybe it was the conversations in school bathrooms, girls whispering about parties, sugar daddies, and Dubai trips. She never joined those talks, but she listened, and the more she listened, the louder the questions in her chest became. What if the world wasn't as black and white as she'd been told? What if there was more to life than quiet devotion and waiting for approval? At home, her parents treated her like porcelain. Her father, Elder Isaiah, led prayers like firestorms. Her mother, always watching, always correcting, reminded her that Amara wasn't just any girl. She was chosen. Chosen meant pressure. Chosen meant no mistakes. So Amara smiled and obeyed. She posted Bible verses on Instagram, wore dresses with sleeves to her wrists, and rejected the compliments from boys at school with practiced grace. But every time she shut her door at night, something shifted. She'd turn off the lights, lie on her bed, and stare at the ceiling while her phone buzzed with messages she never dared to open. She didn't reply to them, but she didn't block them either. Just stared. Curious, because curiosity, when left in silence, grows claws. One evening, as she walked out of school, a girl brushed past her. Glossy lips, acrylic nails, tight jeans, confidence dripping like perfume. She didn't even look at Amara, but Amara couldn't stop looking at her. Who was she? Where was she going? And what did it feel like to walk through life like you owed no one an apology? That night, as Amara sat at the dinner table, chewing slowly while her parents discussed fasting plans, one question sat heavier than her plate of rice. What if I'm not who they think I am? And just like that, the girl beneath the halo began to stir. The girl's name was Zena. Amara found out 2 days later in the school library. It wasn't a coincidence. Zena didn't do coincidence. She walked through life like it was scripted for her, like she was the main character and everyone else was just watching. She slid into the seat across from Amara without asking. Her long nails tapped against the wooden table like a ticking clock. Her lips were red, not red like strawberries or roses, red like danger. "You're the church girl, right?" Zena asked, smirking. Amara looked up slowly from her chemistry textbook. "Excuse me?" Zena tilted her head. "I've seen you. You sing during assembly, always sitting in the front, always saying thank you like it hurts your throat." Amara blinked. She didn't know whether to feel insulted or intrigued. Zena leaned closer. "You ever get tired of being perfect?" That one sentence, sharp as glass, soft as silk, and it sliced right through Amara's carefully built wall. "I'm not perfect," Amara said quickly, eyes darting around the library. "Sure," Zena said, her voice dripping with disbelief. "And I'm a nun." Amara looked away, unsure whether to laugh or walk out. But something about Zena held her in place, a mix of fear and fascination. Zena reached into her bag and pulled out a phone, scrolling until she found a photo. She turned it to face Amara. A rooftop party, bright lights, laughter, girls dressed like magazine covers. Zena in the middle, a champagne glass in one hand, a boy with a tattooed neck whispering in her ear. Amara stared too long. "You want to come?" Zena asked casually, like she was offering gum. Amara blinked fast. I can't." "Why not?" "My parents, my dad and elder." Zena rolled her eyes. "And?" Amara's lips parted, but no sound came out. She didn't have a real answer, just years of "you're not allowed" stitched into her bones. "You ever worn lipstick?" Zena asked, reaching into her bag again. "No." You ever lied? She asked, this time meeting Amara's eyes. Amara hesitated. Didn't think so, Zena said. Then she stood, her perfume lingering in the air. That's the problem with you good girls. You've never tasted freedom, so you think obedience is joy. And just like that, she was gone. Amara sat frozen, heart thudding. That night, she stood in front of the mirror and stared at her reflection longer than usual. Her lips were bare, her face untouched, her life untouched. Then slowly, quietly, she whispered her reflection. What if I said yes? The lie was simple, too simple. Grace invited me to a group study. Amara told her mother, eyes downcast, voice calm. Her mother didn't even look up from slicing vegetables. Bible study? Amara nodded. Her mother smiled. That's my girl. Stay focused. We're in the end times. Amara's throat tightened. If only you knew. She left the house with her Bible in hand. But inside her backpack, carefully folded between notebooks, was the dress. Zena's dress. She had handed it over after school like it was nothing. A silky black thing, short, sleeveless, almost criminal in Amara's world. Wear this. Trust me, Zena had said, smirking. Now Amara stood in the cramped bathroom of a hostel off campus, her school uniform in a pile at her feet. Her fingers shook as she pulled the dress over her head. It hugged her in places nothing ever had. She barely recognized herself. Zena stepped behind her, her hand skillfully lining Amara's eyes with dark coal. This, she whispered, is you? The real you. Amara stared at the mirror. She should have been horrified. She should have run. But all she felt was heat. An hour later, the music from the club hit her like a wave. Thick, alive, seductive. The lights flashed like camera shutters. Bodies moved like water. Zena walked ahead, swaying like the queen of a kingdom Amara never knew existed. People looked. Some smiled. A man offered her a drink. She shook her head, but Zena took it instead and winked. Relax, she whispered. You're not in church now. For the first time in her life, Amara didn't feel invisible. She felt powerful. Every stare felt like electricity on her skin. The music pulsed through her chest. Her heart beat to the rhythm of rebellion. Zena handed her a phone. Take a photo, she said. Just one. Just for you. Amara raised the phone and looked through the camera. In the screen was a stranger. Her hair wild, her eyes lined, her lips full and pink. She took the photo and saved it under a password-protected folder. Later that night, as they rode in a boat car, windows down and wind dancing through their hair, Zena leaned close and whispered, Now you've tasted it. What do you think? Amara looked out the window, the city lights blurring like fireflies. I think I was sleepwalking before, she whispered. And Zena smiled like a wolf. Amara didn't know what to expect when she met him. Zena only said, There's someone I want you to meet. He's generous. His name was Leon. Late 30s, salt and pepper beard, eyes that saw too much. He pulled up in a matte black Range Rover, music low, air conditioning high. His cologne filled the car before he even said a word. This her? He asked, giving Zena a slow, deliberate look. Zena smiled. Told you she was pretty. Amara sat silently in the back seat, her stomach twisted in knots. Leon didn't smile. He studied her like she was a product he was thinking about buying. You're quiet, he said finally. Church girl, right? Amara's heart skipped. How did everyone know? I like quiet girls, Leon continued. They listen better. He took them to a private lounge, hidden away, expensive, dark, and gold. Amara had never seen anything like it. Waiters in black tuxedos, women in diamonds, men laughing too loud with money dripping from their wrists. Zena ordered something sparkling. Leon waved his hand, and food appeared like magic. Amara sat stiff, unsure what to say, unsure of who she was supposed to be. You ever been treated like a queen? Leon asked suddenly. She blinked. I don't know. He smirked, pulling out a small gift box. Inside, a rose gold bracelet. Real, heavy, beautiful. For you, he said. Amara's breath caught. Why? Because you're worth it, he said smoothly. And because I don't like to ask twice." She hesitated, but only for a moment, then slipped the bracelet on. It shimmered like sin. That night, Zena texted her, "Now he likes you." The real games begin. Amara tried to return to her old life. Bible study, morning devotion, Sunday worship. She wore long skirts again, sang hymns with eyes closed, but the words didn't feel holy anymore. They felt hollow. Her mother noticed first. "You're tired lately," she said during breakfast. "School," Amara lied. Then came Grace, her best friend since childhood. "Why are you always disappearing?" Grace asked one afternoon, arms folded. "You lie about where you go. You barely answer texts. You smell like perfume that's not yours." Amara forced a laugh. "I've just been busy." "With what?" Amara looked away. "You wouldn't understand." "Try me?" Amara didn't respond. Grace stepped closer. "Tell me you're not messing with those city guys. Tell me Zena isn't dragging you into her mess." "Zena's not." Amara started, then stopped, because Zena was. But the words stayed trapped behind her teeth. That evening, as she walked home, Leon's car slowed beside her. The window rolled down. "Get in," he said. She did. He didn't speak for a while. Then, without looking at her, he said, "Don't keep ignoring my calls." Amara tensed. "I wasn't. You think I don't know when someone's slipping?" His voice was low, calm, dangerous. "I'm just trying to balance things," she said, voice barely above a whisper. Leon's hand brushed her thigh. "Then let me help you balance, babe. I don't like disobedience." Her stomach flipped. His grip wasn't soft anymore. When she got home that night, she peeled off the bracelet and threw it into the drawer. But her wrist still felt heavy. And worse, her heart didn't feel clean anymore. Sunday morning came with false peace. Amara stood in front of her wardrobe, holding her choir robe like it was a shield. Her eyes were tired, rimmed with the faint trace of last night's mascara. She had sung less and smiled more, danced longer and prayed less. And now, she was back in her house, pretending nothing had changed. Her mother knocked gently. "Time for church, Amara." "Coming," she replied, her voice strained. At church, the sanctuary echoed with music, people swaying, hands raised. Amara stood with the choir, microphone in hand, lips mouthing the words. But her heart wasn't in it. Not today. She caught sight of Grace in pews, arms folded, eyes narrowed, not singing. After service, Amara tried to slip away, but Grace was waiting by the exit. "We need to talk," Grace said. "Not now," Amara whispered. Then when Grace's voice cracked, "I know you're not okay, and I saw you last night." Amara's heart stopped. Grace's voice dropped lower. "You were with him. That man. The one in the Range Rover." "Grace." "You look scared, Amara. You didn't look like someone having fun." Amara felt her chest tighten. She glanced around, panicked. "Keep your voice down." Grace stepped closer, pain in her eyes. "Is he hurting you?" Amara swallowed. "No. He gets angry sometimes." Grace's hands curled into fists. "That's not love, Amara." "I know." "Then leave him." "I can't," Amara whispered. "Why?" Amara looked away. "Because I don't know who I am without all this." Grace was quiet for a long time. Then she said softly, "You're still in there. But if you stay on this road, one day you won't be." Before Amara could respond, her phone buzzed. "Leon, come outside. Now." Amara's breath caught. "Don't," Grace said, reading her face. "I have to," Amara murmured. "No, you don't. You owe him nothing." "I owe him everything," Amara whispered. "He gave me a life I was too scared to take myself." Grace stepped back. "No, Amara. He gave you a cage and painted it gold." Amara turned and walked away. Her feet felt like bricks. Her heart beat too fast. She reached the car. Leon was inside, jaw tight. "You're late," he said. "I was in church," Amara replied, trying to keep her voice steady. Leon reached over and gripped her arm tight. "You don't keep me waiting." Amara yanked her hand away. You don't owe me. Something in Leon's eyes flashed. Something dark. Don't forget who put you in this world, Amara. No, she said, voice low. God did. And I think it's time I remember that. She stepped out of the car and slammed the door. Her chest rose and fell. Grace was still standing at the church steps, waiting. Amara didn't know what tomorrow would bring. Shame? Judgment? Pain? But in that moment, for the first time in a long time, she felt free.